do you think the participation in this kind of project and educational management, why do you think it's so important for kids nowadays?
These kind of events give an opportunity for kids to, just come up with some creative ideas, prove themselves in terms of what they're learning in schools and some practical ideas, which are useful for the society itself and our country itself. Yeah.
What do you think was the most challenging for your child?
Yeah, I think the most challenging part for my kid, her name is Ayzah. She's part of the GEMS Metropole group, was to basically come up with something which is useful for the country here, right? Like UAE. And secondly, the more important part or challenging part for her was to, work with the whole team because they are young. They need to learn the teamwork and, how to basically, collaborate with each other, understand different ideas from team members and, then come up as a team for an idea which is useful for society. Workshops like this give them the exposure to think about what are the real use cases from the society, the challenges we are facing in terms of sustainability or the future of work, how the modern work kind of technologies, and these kind of seminars or exhibitions give them the opportunity to basically convert their foundational knowledge from schools into practical ideas which are useful for the society itself.
And what do you think it's the most important skills for children now?
Oh, this is a very, very good question. In the era now, it's very difficult to say what's actually skills will be needed very new in the future. However, like some skills, I believe they are very, very important always. And this is like collaboration, passion, building things. So I'm really happy seeing so many students here like building so amazing projects and having really fun doing this. So I guess this is very important.
So do you think participating in this kind of project management is more for leadership skills or more for the open-minded skills?
Absolutely. I think the leadership skills you can develop here, definitely even like being exposed now doing this event, explaining what you have done to like adults and leaderships in the country. I think level it's I guess stressful for all these individuals here and the students, and they can only benefit in the future.
Hello everyone. We would like to welcome you to the future. Max. Max is a biotech system that combines a dew system with moss. So it operates on a day and night cycle and is completely self-sustaining. In the night, it collects dew from the atmosphere around us, which is perfect for the climate in Dubai. And the dew is filtered down and went right to the moss, which absorbs CO2 and dust in the air.
We have chose a specific type of moss called sphagnum moss, and this is good because there's increased water retention rates and because of its large surface area to absorb light and dust. It can also absorb large amounts of CO2, which could be benefit for the environment.
The question everyone is asking is, what is the problem? The problem is that millions of people that live in Dubai breathe fine dust and a lot of CO2 in their lungs every single day, causing health issues. And we have the solution and the cure to this. So, by absorbing and sequestrating CO2 and other pollutants in the air, we are actively helping lung-related health issues to people in Dubai.
The benefits of this would include low power consumption, as there is little power consumption in our project itself, mainly with our data that tracks everything live.
In a world where a sustainable energy source matters the most for generations to come, we as kids need to strive to fix the older generations' mistakes for generations to come. Otherwise, our world will not be the same. So we present to you a speed bump called collision power.
So this is collision power. Collision power works by having the speed bump go up and down. This creates kinetic energy, which can be converted in three ways. One with piezoelectric generators here. Second with thermoelectric generators here. And the last one using electromagnetic generators. This project will try and strive to works for all speed breakers. This can create passive energy while the world is moving.
This is important because UAE currently really relies on things like fossil fuels and other burning fossil fuels, which heavily contributes to global warming and climate change. However, our idea creates sustainable energy to hopefully help the future get more sustainable and use more reusable energy. Not only that, but also track speed to make sure that people are following the speed limit, and if not, otherwise causes car damage.
Hello, it's Abdullah AlSalmani, co-founder and CEO of SpacePoint, where we teach students from 12 years old onwards the basics of satellite development, from electrical integration, mechanical assembly, and software testing, where they get at the end of it a one-to-one of an actual CubeSat. It has the command and data handling system, the power system, and the attitude determination and control system. And during the process itself, they will understand the basics of electronics as well as how advanced technologies are built. And this prepares us to the project that we are working on with Project Labs to launch the youngest space or satellite built by students. So we've been here today, and it's a great pleasure being here. Altair is one of the students who graduated from our programs, and we're looking forward to expanding this collaboration forward and expanding it also to other schools.
Hello, I'm Zain, and this is our project, Zake Swords. This is Ethan, Keira, and Ayzah. Our project is basically a sensor that measures the purity and water moisture of soil. Here, it's powered all by solar energy, and it helps plants stay alive. This project here, this is for a larger scale of this, like if a farm plot is big, and this just goes around through the whole farm plot, measuring water purity and the purity of the soil. It will spray water in if the water moisture is low, and it just removes the need for all farmers, which is very cost effective.
Also, this place over here near the back, it can put down water for like if the moisture is low, and puts down soil if the soil is impure. Also, we have scanners over here to like check everything right and make sure that everything's going good with crops. So it grows crops, it helps watch over crops, and it gives us energy.
So basically, Zake is an irrigation system, which is also cost effective, as when it comes to farmers, there are a lot of labor costs involved in the process of watering plants and keeping plants up to date. So this is a more affordable system that also includes less labor for farmers.
Our model is sustainable because it uses renewable energy from the solar panels that are integrated on top of it. So this solar energy reduces the model's carbon footprint, and it leads to a more eco-friendly environment for these crops.
Why do you think it's important to support educational programs for children?
I think they have to focus on AI. Artificial intelligence is very important these days in UAE and all over the world. I think if I will advise my children, I will focus on AI field.
Okay, so the future is AI, right?
The future is AI, and you have to learn. You have to teach to know how to coding, how to everything is related. Whatever you are, your profession, you have to go to the AI.
So in terms of how we created our idea, I just researched a bunch of problems in the UAE. So it was like congestion, waste generation, and everything. But we couldn't really generate an idea from that. So we researched existing things that the UAE has done for sustainability and thought about improving it. So our main idea is to use AI to detect like the maximum accumulation of sand on the panel before efficiency is impacted, so that we can clean accordingly, which maximizes efficiency and saves resources.
So to start the project, we used a Tinkercad website where we used an Arduino base and an online simulation and wrote C++ code, including a 3D model to get an idea on what the project would look like. Our online simulation consisted of an Arduino base, a micro servo to imitate the movement of the brush, an LDR, a light-dependent resistor to detect any light deficiencies on the solar panel, a heat sensor to detect any any extreme heat changes, and yeah, that which would be sent to the AI box to send a signal.
Here, as you can see on the design, there's a cross panel. This should go cross panel across the body of the solar panel, and it's initially just a prototype. We had it designed prior to receiving the kit on late notice. So this would be like a more realistic version of what we would have made if we had the resources. But yeah, that's just the general idea.
When designing our project, we used a STEM coding kit in order to create a three-legged robot which could freely move along a solar panel.
Now, we were able to build our model successfully. However, there were a few minor issues with this prototype which could definitely be taken to improve into the next one. For example, we need to create a higher focus on stability of the wheels in order to ensure that the robot could move at different angles, as well as a better motor cable.
When we look at the financial and business side of the project, instead of creating an online service which would be targeted to specific consumers who have solar panels, which would be too time consuming, we thought that it would be better to partner with solar panel companies and get at least 5 or 10% of their revenue when they use our product. This way we'd be able to get government subsidies to get the raw materials to build the product itself.
What do you think is the most important for children?
I think as a teacher who's experienced this with her students and their journey, I think the mentorship has been incredible to see. The feedback, the questioning, that normally a student, when they're working on their project, they don't normally do that for themselves. So to have an adult or someone from the professional background or an industry expert give them that direction through questioning and through mentorship has been really, for me, impressive to see.
And what do you think, what kind of personal skills they can develop through participation in this kind of projects?
Yeah, I think the skills that we're looking at are time management, maybe something that students are still developing at this age, and also communication, and not just communication with words, but communication in terms of meeting deadlines and creating those opportunities for each team player to know their role and for this to be communicated effectively by the team leader.
Hi, this is our smart city. Basically, we found an issue with all of other existing smart cities is that they don't prioritize efficiency as much as they should. So we're using the help of AI to help us make a city that manages energy, water, and just resources in general better. So we have an app where wherever you are in the world, you can access it. It's an offline app, and it basically shows all of the stats of people that live inside the city. So you have your overall dashboard, you see your cost savings, and then you also see your energy consumption. There's also a feature that we added called AI suggestions, which means that if there's a water leak and you're traveling, you can still fix it using the help of AI, even if you're not in the city. So if AI gives you a suggestion, then you can choose to apply it into your system, and then it'll make it better. We also made a live creation of what our city would look like.
So this is our city. The main goal of this city is bringing the quality of living up and the negative environmental impact down. You can see we have greenery everywhere because in many cities like London, Paris, their air quality is cleaner than Dubai. So we want to make that better. You can see we have greenery and there's amenities for everybody to enjoy. Everything's in walking distance, so you don't need to drive. And it's disability friendly. If you're walking down the road and you're blind, for example, you can run your hand along here. AI will tell you when it's safe to cross. So because we want everyone to feel included and we want everyone to have the best possible life they can have. And you can see with our recycling and stuff.
So we have made a smart waste management system which consists of bins that are solar powered, and these bins have sensors that detect fill levels, and these, after that, it sends a notification to the binman to come collect your waste. This helps you not only recycle but compost as well to help the convenience, and it has many features to it, like, for example, an efficient collection system and smart citizen engagement. This helps you recycle and compost without even thinking about it, which makes it very convenient and very easy. Can you put on the... We have also made a plant-based air purifier. This helps air quality around our sustainable city, since many populated cities around the world have very bad air quality due to things like traffic and transport. This helps just clear up everything, and it helps other people to reduce diseases and any and it also includes the snake plant, peace lily plant, and other plants that help with air quality.
What do you think is the most important skills that can be developed for kids during participation in this kind of project management events?
For me, I think it's a great opportunity for these kids to show us their ideas. And at this age, kids want to show any new innovations they have, any new ideas to show to the world. And it's a great way for them to communicate with other like-minded people, to explain their ideas and how they want to implement them. So it's a very nice opportunity for them to connect with people like in the workplace, people in the ministry, to see how their ideas can be implemented.
Do you think implementing AI in the school program is important?
Of course, AI is like the future, and AI is being implemented everywhere. So for those kids to learn AI at this young age, maybe they can even help develop further, in terms of AI and how we can use AI to help in solutions and problems.
And why do you think it's more interesting for kids working under the project, not just traditional way?
It's more interesting because they get to interact with other people and they get to basically implement their ideas. It's an opportunity for them, maybe even to get their ideas implemented for in the ministry itself or other areas. Maybe someone is interested and then it reaches someone important.
Hello, this is True Guide, a smart rover created to help the elderly and people of determination. Maybe I should just show you how it works. Our project True Guide has many sensors, and it also has a camera attached right here to monitor the surroundings of elderly. Basically, the problem that we identified is that many caregivers and many caregivers are not there to support the elderly or people of determination, or many family members cannot attend to them 24/7. So we've created True Guide, which is supposed to attend to them all the time. It can take care of them. The smart motion sensors and the program allows the rover to monitor its surroundings and identify any possible obstacles or any possible problems. Our future goals for this mission are also to create a proper working robot, which can also work as an alarm clock and also remind for things such as medicine and daily activities like that. Obviously, the biggest goal of our project was to be sustainable, and we worked on 3 sustainability goals. The biggest sustainability goal that we worked on was reduce inequalities, where we've tried to give every single person the same chance. Our journey for this project was a really important journey. We've pieced together such a good robot, something that's been made out of sheer innovation and determination, and as well as we've created all of our challenges, limitations, and ethical considerations for this project. We faced a lot of challenges while making this robot, and we've also worked on many solutions for it as well, as you can see over here. Our problems were also for this robot to navigate busy environments, or maybe because it isn't as advanced, but the solution that we overcame was the development of a compact, intelligent rover, which also where it can move and navigate different obstacles through a different track path. As you saw over here, it took a track, which shows that it can navigate using a proper given track, but we also are planning on doing future innovations where it can navigate using a clear plain field using camera detections. You can connect this robot through your phone or your iPad or anything so that you can detect its movement and its cameras. Thank you.
What do you think are the most important skills for the kids to learn in future, and what can help them in future life?
Yeah, I suppose
in terms of project management, I've seen a real focus on their presentation skills, their ability to articulate their thoughts, to kind of produce an end-to-end product where they start with a challenge and they devise the solution and then they go through the whole creation process. It's sort of that like bringing to market approach that they've been really supported with. So I guess, you know, for children to get that holistic whole experience over the course of a few months has been really valuable for them.
And what do you think is the main difference between the traditional approach to education and the project management approach?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we obviously very much still focus in a traditional way on students gaining their curriculum knowledge. But I suppose through junior PM, what they've been able to do is apply that curriculum knowledge in a different environment. And that's what's incredibly valuable because, you know, we can't provide those opportunities necessarily just within the classroom. So to be able to experience things like this, where they are presenting to industry experts and when they're getting sort of governmental input on their projects, that's something that we really want to build for our students' experiences.
Hi. So, WhatWise is based on one main idea, making an invisible problem visible. Energy wastage due to light goes unnoticed all around, mainly in schools. Our idea is to bring awareness to this issue and make it super visible so people can understand how simple things we do in our daily life can make a big impact.
So basically, we've realized in school we waste a lot of energy. So our prototype over here entirely fixes that issue over here. It calculates how much light is being used and how much energy is being saved and then how much dirhams it costs. So our prototype here can help young children learn how energy can be saved and lost and provide a gamified way of people to learn about energy and save about them.
By making energy visible, WhatWise tends to grow on children as children as young as 5 years old can start building their habits by saving energy usage. And these small changes can lead to a huge impact in schools and everywhere else where children can save energy and raise awareness to other children.
Yeah.
WhatWise right now is only focusing on lighting. But as WhatWise continues to grow, we will slowly expand in over rewards and everything.
Do you think learning AI is important for children today?
AI is becoming increasingly important in many aspects of life, and it's likely to play a bigger role in the future. Understanding the basics of AI and its applications could be beneficial for children as they grow up in this increasingly technological world. Are you interested in specific ways AI can be important?
Do you think it might be implemented in project management?
Already being implemented in project management in various ways. It can help with task automation, risk prediction, resource allocation, and even communication and scheduling. By analyzing large amounts of data, AI tools can help project managers make more informed decisions and streamline workflows.
So before we start the project, I'd like to start this project with a quote. The greatest threat to our planet is the belief that someone else will save it. Did you know that 1% of the global water can be only humans can be using?
Would you like to save a third of your bill, electricity bill? Would you like to save 70% of your water bill? We're here to save that. We're EcoFlow, and before we start, we'd like to introduce ourselves. I'm Marc, I'm the leader, and I'm responsible for the lights.
I'm Arjun, I'm responsible for the engineering of the water project.
I'm Mohan, I'm Mohan, and I'm the lead of the presentation and the booklets and parts of helping these boats. So we noticed that sensor utilities like water and electricity are being wasted. And this happens in 4 main ways. In dripping taps, lights on in empty rooms, undetected leaks, and lights used when daylight is sufficient.
The way we plan to solve this is in 2 main prototypes. The first being the lights, the second being the water.
Did you know that over 40% of households leave their taps open, leading to a way higher cost and just more consumption of water? So what we're trying to do is we're trying to solve that by creating a ultrasonic sensor detection system, which can detect when someone's washing their hand, they'll turn on the water system. And what we've also done is we've added a leak detection system. When there's ever a leak in the pipe, it'll automatically switch off the water circuit.
Next, we'll move on to the light system. The way this works is in two main different prototypes. The first being the sensors, the second being the camera. Here I'll present you the current state of your house, your rooms, and how they work. Over here is your room. This is your simple room, a simple circuit. By pressing a simple button, the lights turns on, and that's all it does. It doesn't save any energy, doesn't control whether someone's in the room, and just continuously turns the lights on. The way we want to solve this is first through sensors. We've installed 3 different sensors to stop this: a photo sensor, motion sensor, and a sound sensor. The logic follows as if there's no light, if it's night, the electricity will go through the 2 other sensors, the motion and sound, and depending on their inputs, they will turn on the lights. If they feel whether there's motion or sound, the lights will turn on. As you may know, systems like these are often unreliable, sensors crash, and just overall fail. That's why we made an app. This allows you to control your lights remotely, being able to turn them on and off automatically. If I press the button over here, it turns on the lights automatically. I can switch on a fan, as well as see the different values of the sensors in real time.
So now let's talk about the business aspect of this project. So let's talk about the pricing strategies we'll implement as a business. So first we'll implement a cost plus pricing. So the total manufacturing cost of this project is 220 dirhams. And with the markup of 25%, this price increases to 270. That's a cost plus pricing. So now we're also going to implement psychological pricing, where instead of selling for 275, we'll sell it for like 269 plus 1699. So in this way, consumers will psychologically think this is actually way less than the prototype it actually is. And the third and final step is the penetration. So as a new business in the markets, we have to make the prototype at a lesser price, so this can attract the regular basis of customers. So once we increase the price, there'll be steady flow of customers. So this shows that our project is not only helps people, it also has a great economic cause. So let's talk about the market research. So in the market research, we noticed 4 main things. The global smart forcing industry is expected to reach 3.67 billion USD this in 2032, and in the UAE, it's expected to grow 6% annually. So with the competitor analysis also, we found 3 main competitors in the market. We found the Grow Sense Guard, the Find Plus, and the normal sensor types or basics. We noticed that these 3 prototypes are hard to install, they're very expensive, and some of them, they don't have even leak detection. So our prototype has all of that.
Did you know that 6% of all the energy used worldwide is wasted just in lights? Did you know that 4 terawatts of the 27 terawatts worldwide is used on lights? Did you know that? We want to save that. Water is additionally something very important and we try to use, but then our hand will expand.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, Engineer Mohamed Al Mansoori, distinguished members of the Ministry, honored guests, respected educators, partners, and parents. Most importantly, our students. Welcome to the Junior Project Manager Awards ceremony. Just moments ago, we witnessed the culminations of months of dedication, teamwork, and perseverance. We have seen today that this is not just a series of projects, but the transformation of ambitious ideas into tangible impact. I kindly invite His Excellency Engineer Mohamed Al Mansoori, Undersecretary for Infrastructure and Transport Affairs at the Ministry of Energy and Infrastructure, to come to the stage to present the awards.
So each dream can be true in the future, but never, just back up. Always look to the future, keep going on. If we kept saying we cannot, we're never gonna succeed. So basically, I wish you the best and the best future. And I saw nice ideas. So I think if you keep up doing these things, maybe one day you will be someone.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for these inspiring words and for the Ministry's steadfast support of our youth. We will now begin presenting the awards. Our first recognition is the Rising Project Leaders Award, celebrating students who have demonstrated outstanding leadership potential, teamwork, and initiative. Tonight, we will be presenting 2 trophies for the Rising Project Leaders Award. The first goes to a team from GEMS Wellington International School, Raynash, Mondina, and Ditya Vivek Sharma. The second is also from GEMS Wellington International School. It goes to Louis, Mishika, and Rodiana. Next, we move to the Sustainability Excellence category, recognizing projects that address environmental, social, and long-term impact challenges. For the Bronze Award for Sustainability Excellence, the award goes to GEMS Metropole Motor City School for Arjun, Marc, Jack, and Emilia. At the Silver Level Award, the Sustainability Excellence Award goes to GEMS Wellington International School, Annika, Ariana, and Aditya. Finally, at the Gold Level Award, the Sustainability Excellence Award goes to GEMS FirstPoint School for Siddhant and Garvit. We now continue with the Innovation Excellence category, honoring teams that have demonstrated creativity, originality, and forward-thinking solutions. At the Bronze Level Award for Innovation Excellence, the award goes to GEMS Metropole Motor City, Zain, Keira, Ayzah, and Ethan. At the Silver Level, the award for Innovation Excellence goes to GEMS FirstPoint School, Muhammad Ali, Mia, Ayesh, Ajamot, and Maktoum. Finally, at the Gold Level, the award for Innovation Excellence goes to GEMS Wellington International School, Marc, Ahan, and Arjun. To continue with our proceedings, it is my distinct honor to invite Ms. Fatima Abdelrahman to the stage, Acting Head of the Institutional Innovation Section at the Ministry of Energy and Infrastructure.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, respected partners, dear parents, educators, and most importantly, our talented students. Welcome to the Ministry of Energy and Infrastructure and to the Junior Project Manager Project Expo and Award Ceremony. We are pleased to host you today. A special welcome to His Excellency Engineer Mohamed Al Mansoori and also to Ms. Paula Kwaliza, Diplomatic Attaché at the Embassy of the Republic of Slovenia in UAE. We are honored by your presence. Today is not just about a project, it's about potential. The potential of young people who are learning to think creatively, work together, and turn ideas into real solutions. At the Ministry, we believe in investing in the future by empowering youth with practical skills and real-world experience. This is why we proudly support the Junior Project Manager Initiative, which reflects our national priorities in sustainability and innovation. I would like to thank Ms. Anara Zhilbikova, co-founder of the Little Project Manager, for her vision and dedication in making this initiative a success. To our students, you are all winners. The skills you have gained, teamwork, critical thinking, and communication will guide you far beyond today. We remain committed to supporting initiatives that develop talent and contribute to a sustainable future. Congratulations to all participants, and we wish you an inspiring ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fatima, for these inspiring words and for the Ministry's steadfast support of our youth. Now, we are pleased to welcome creative and strategic leader whose work spans global brands, innovations, and digital transformation. Please welcome Alex Renori, Senior Director of Brand Experience with over 25 years of international experience across creative leadership, branding, and innovation. Alex has held senior roles at global organizations, including Google and G42, and he's a passionate advocate for creativity, storytelling, and future-focused thinking. Please welcome Alex.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here to see so many smart kids and so many proud parents. It's a special day for both of you. I'm the part of the ceremony where you take some old guy to give you some smart advices for your future life, kids. So take it for 5 minutes. I promise I'll be done soon. But I want to tell you a few things I learned along the way. Innovation is fundamental today. We need innovation more than ever for a very good reason. We didn't do a good job ourselves. Every generation inherits not only the good, but also the problems and has to fix it. You happen to have a lot to fix. So we need your brains and your hearts to produce new ways to look at life, to look at the world and how to fix problems. Now, to do innovation, the most important thing is to be curious. Without curiosity, it's very difficult to get innovation. Being curious means a never-ending thirst of understanding the why of things. Don't get ever satisfied by someone that tells you it is like this because it is what it is. Don't stop asking why until you have an answer that feels good in your mind and in your heart. And talking about the heart, let it be your compass. Let your values and your heart guide you. If you give control to the brain, you won't go far. The heart is the driver, the brain is the machine. So build the smartest brain that you can build and be the best you can be so that you will arrive where you need to arrive. The brain will not tell you where. The heart will always tell you where to go. Build that. And yeah, learn that there is nothing like individual success because this is a wrong concept. The right concept is collective well-being because individual success is pursued at the expense of others. Collective well-being put ourselves in the second place to sustain each and every one of us, to reach a better way of life, better habits, a better world at the end. So important. If you want to be curious, nurture your language. Most of you have done a lot of tech projects with coding, right? What is coding? It's a language to achieve results. Your mind has an operative system. Language is at the heart of that operative system. If you learn very deeply your language, you will express sophisticated concepts. If your language is poor, your thoughts will be poor, and your actions will be poor. So start with amazing thoughts, then say amazing words, create amazing actions that will give us an amazing world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Alex. Our next speaker is a globally respected transformation leader with over 40 years of international experience. Please welcome Dr. Peter Jackson, Vice President at Dry Docks World, DP World, and a strong advocate for future-ready leadership.
Hi, and good morning. My name is Peter Jackson. I head up business transformation in Dry Docks World, which is a DP World company. And this is year number 21 for me in Dubai. And if we look around and see the transformation that has happened in this country, it is just incredible in a very short period of time. So when I spoke to Anara and she asked me to say a few words, I thought, what should I prepare script? What should I say? And she said, just tell some of your stories. So let me tell you 2 stories. About 3 weeks ago, there was a global one of the world's leading project management events in Dubai at the Madinat Arena. And all of the tech leads in the world, the CEOs of all the global tech companies and the CEOs of all of the leading Dubai companies and VIP people were there. And I sat in on many of the events and I was listening to see what people would say, like Mohammed Alaba from MR Properties. But the two sessions that really caught my attention was one from a guy called Andre Agassi, who was a very famous tennis player many years ago. He was the number one in the world for a period of time. And he talked about project management in his tennis life. And it was fascinating. And I would ask any of you, when you leave here, to go into YouTube or Instagram and have a look at some of his stories. He's now building schools for underprivileged children in America, driven by his project management mindset. But the most important guy I met, which I then chased down the corridor after he'd given his speech to catch him, was a guy called Bear Grylls. I think many of you will know of this guy, who is famous adventurer, former SAS soldier. Again, a fascinating character that lived through. He fell out of an aeroplane on a parachute jump and his parachute didn't open. And he fell 15,000 feet to the ground. And he broke 35 bones in his body, his back, his pelvis, his neck. And this was his story. And what he said was his life and all the things he's done in his life, and you've seen some of the crazy things. This is the guy that eats eyes and takes people on adventures. He said his life has been, the outcome of his life is based on three things, 3 F's he called it. The first one he said was failure. And he does not accept this in his life. There is no such thing as failure. There is only lessons to be learned. And I thought that was fascinating. He gave many examples, like falling out of an airplane. He could have just said, never going to do that again. Now you see what he's doing today. And he recovered, actually, because he didn't accept that he would fail at anything in his life. The second thing he said was fear. And he talked about how he'd seen in some of the world's leading people and people like yourselves and young people like you, how fear is a paralyzing process in the mind. It actually is very negative and it stops you taking a step. You know, if I had fear that I thought, you know, I want to speak to this guy, but I'm worried. Fear's stopping me going. But on the other side of fear, if you think about it as a coin, fear was so negative in his world, but on the other side there's magic. And I had a magic 5 minutes with him. And he took time to chat with me. In fact, I only did it because I wanted a selfie for my daughters so they think their dad was cool. And the third F was fire. And he said, no matter what you learn in school, no matter what you learn in university, and your personality, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, it doesn't matter, but the fire comes from here. And today we call that fire passion. And he said, lead your life and lead your future careers, not in fear, not accepting failure, and with passion to drive forward in your future. So that was a wonderful moment for me to spend that time and listen to him. And you know, you see him on TV, but to listen to how he explained it, and it culminated in those 3 things. Failure, don't accept it. Fear, magic is on the other side of fear. Just take that step. And fire, follow your passion. Follow what's in your heart. Alex mentioned that. Follow what's in your heart. So that's one story. 2 minutes, I'll give another story, how that affected me. So I've been in my working life now for 45 years. And when I was at school, when I left school, not many people in my school went to university. In fact, 0 went to university. And remember, this was in 1980, 1979, 1980. There was no internet. There was no email. It was a different world. And we look how that world has evolved. So I decided I was going to go and be an apprentice. I wanted to be a technician in the petrochemical industry. So I passed the aptitude test, and there was only 6 places available for this apprenticeship in the northeast of England, and thousands of people applied. And this apprenticeship at the time was like the F1 of apprenticeships. It was the Rolls Royce of apprenticeships. It was sought after. by people who could go to university or people who were practical with their hands. And there was only 6 places available. So I thought I'd go for that, and I passed the test, and then I got asked for an interview. So in my family, working class family, we only had 1 car, and my father was at work. So I had to walk 2 or 3 miles to the bus stop, which I did. And I waited for the bus. I was early, super excited. I was also nervous. And guess what happened? The bus didn't turn up. It didn't turn up. And I was stood there thinking that my life is over. Something happened. And I walked back home. And I walked into our house, my kitchen, spoke to my mother, told her what had happened. And of course, she panicked. What are you going to do? Your dad's not here. We don't. So at that point, I saw one of my neighbours drive into the area where we lived, and he'd just finished his night shift. He'd been working 10 or 12-hour nights, and I went out to see him, explained my predicament, and he offered to take me in his car, in his time, to the place of the interview, which was about 15 miles away. But he could only take me to the entrance to where the interview was. So I got to the entrance, spoke to the security guards, told them I had an interview. I then walked 3 miles to the building where I had the interview. I got to the building, I was hot, sweating. I opened the door, went in. The interviews had finished. I'd missed them. I was 2 hours late. So I explained to the receptionist what had happened. And she said, just wait. And she sat me down in the corner and I waited, give me some water. And she said, I want to speak to somebody. And then 45 minutes later, a very smart looking gentleman in his cream suit and his tie came to sit with me. And his name was Tony Young. I found out later it was Dr. Tony Young. And he was the head of the interview panel. And we just chatted. And he was asking me what happened. How did you get here? Why did you do that? Why is this important to you? What drove you not to just turn your back? And we just chatted 45 minutes. And then he thanked me. And I left and walked 3 miles back to the security gate and got the bus home. And I thought, that's it. 2 days later, I got the offer letter. 1 of 6 places I got the offer letter. So when I reflect on that, that took me on the path that I have taken. I didn't accept failure. I was nervous, but I wouldn't allow fear to overcome my decision-making, even at the age of 16. And I had some fire in my heart, in my tummy to say, I really want this apprenticeship. And that's what drove my decision-making. It wasn't anything to do with how smart I was, how many qualifications I had, what my family background was. It came from within. So I would say to all you young people, follow your heart, work hard, and everything is possible in this world. I know I did a podcast with Anara just a few weeks ago, and the first question he asked me is, what do you think of the young people of today? I think they thought I was going to complain and say, my immediate response was, I think they are tremendous, the young people of today. They're much more advanced than we ever were. And with all of the challenges we have in this world and all of the conflicts that we have in this world, I feel comforted that I met so many young people this morning that can actually make a difference in this world. So congratulations and good luck in your futures. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jackson. Now it's my pleasure to invite someone who represents the heart of this program, our mentors. Please welcome Hiba Shehi, who is speaking today on behalf of all mentors. Hiba is an accomplished PMO leader, an advocate for excellence in project management, and a strong supporter for developing the next generation leaders through guidance, mentorship, and shared experience.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm truly honored to be standing here on behalf of all mentors who participated in this program. Mentors who chose to be standing to give their time and attention and experience without expecting anything in return. They did so for one reason only, to help you grow, to think wider, ask better questions, and feel less lost as you begin to shape your future. To me, mentorship is one of the purest acts of kindness. It's about believing in potential before it's fully formed. That is why every member in this program, this is what they have done. And because mentors believe in potential, today it is really about you. To the students here today, what you experienced in this program was not normal. You were not treated as children waiting for instructions. You were treated as young thinkers, capable of thinking on your own, building ideas and working in teams, asking questions and making decisions on your own. You explored project management not as a subject to memorize, but as a way of thinking. You learned how to take an idea and give it structure. You also learned how to collaborate, how to adjust when things didn't go as expected, how to explain your thinking and stand behind your choices. And I know a few judges here who were trying to challenge you today. So you stood behind your choices, you explained well your ideas, and that is not easy, especially at your age. That is exactly how real project, real teams, real leadership work. And this is where I want to pause and share something important. Something we wish we had understood earlier, that if there is one mindset we hope to carry with you and from this experience, it is curiosity. Be curious enough to ask questions, dig deeper, explore before deciding whether something is for you or not. Whether you end up choosing project management or something completely different, curiosity will never be wasted. Curiosity helps you discover who you are, what motivates you, what challenges you, and what feels right and what doesn't. You don't need to have all the answers today. You don't need to decide your future. But what matters is that you give yourself the space to explore thoughtfully, responsibly, and honestly. If you one day decide that project management is not for you, that is not failure, that is clarity. And if you one day decide that it is for you, you will remember that curiosity is what led you there. That is why programs like these matter. You are being introduced to ideas, ways of thinking, and possibilities earlier than many of us were. And by people who have lived this kind of work, not just studied it. This gives you the chance to discover who you are before you commit to a path. And that is why mentorship matters. Mentorship is not just about sharing knowledge. It's about giving someone the confidence to explore without fear and to recognize their potential earlier. Every mentor in this program showed up because they believe that early guidance can change how someone sees their future, exactly like what Peter just mentioned. To my fellow mentors, thank you for your kindness, generosity, patience, and belief in these students. The questions you answered, the conversations you had, the encouragement you gave will stay with them far longer than today's awards. And to the students, whether you continue with project management or choose something completely different, carry this with you. Stay curious, ask questions, seek people who will challenge you to think deeper. And when someone offers guidance, receive it with openness. And on behalf of all mentors, we are all very proud of you. Congratulations and well done. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Hiba. This program would not be possible without the generous support of our partners. We are proud to recognize our platinum sponsor, CraftPal. I would like to invite Peter Frank, co-founder of CraftPal, to say a few words. Peter is a senior business leader with extensive experience in strategic growth, partnerships, and sustainability-driven initiatives.
Hello, everyone. Guests, partners, and participants. It's a great honor for me to fly into Dubai.
and be part of this project. That we heard that you must be curious. This is actually what probably you know the famous guy Steve Jobs once said to students, but I will add that you must stay also ambitious, and this will take you to innovation you can make in the future life. So I would like to thank the Ministry of Energy Infrastructure and the Junior Project Manager Program team for this outstanding initiative. At Krachpal, you probably don't know, but we make these pallets made out of paper. We also try to innovate and bring people goods that are carried away every day. But technology alone is never enough. A real process always starts with people, especially young people like you are. So this is why initiatives like the Junior Project Manager Program truly matter. They do more than teach theory. They prepare students for real-world challenges by developing leadership, responsibility, teamwork, and critical thinking. As a sponsor, Krachpal involvement goes beyond supporting an event. It reflects our long-term commitment to empowering youth, encouraging innovation, and supporting sustainable growth. When young people are given the opportunity to learn, experiment, and lead, they gain confidence. And confidence is what turns ideas into an impact. What makes this program especially powerful is strong alignment with values that matter the most for the future: innovation, sustainability, and collaboration. These are also the core values of the Krachpal in our daily work and how we contribute to the communities and markets where we serve. So to the students here today, your project represents more than results, they represent potential. Every challenge you faced, every problem you solved is preparing you for the future you will help shape. Stay curious, again, stay ambitious, and never underestimate the value of your ideas. To the organizers, mentors, partners, your dedication and guidance are building a strong foundation for the next generation. Your effort today will have an impact far beyond this room. Krachpal is proud to support initiatives like this, and we look forward to continuing our contribution to programs that empower youth, drive innovation, and build more sustainable future. I wish all participants continued success and every achievement, and we look forward to a brighter future filled with innovation and success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Peter. It is now my honor to introduce the leader whose vision and commitment have made this program possible. Please welcome Anara Asabekova, co-founder of the Little Project Manager and director of the Junior Project Manager program. Anara brings over 20 years of global professional experience management, spanning technology, finance, construction, and healthcare. She has led complex, high-impact initiatives, including the National COVID Response Programs and the UAE National Genome Program. Beyond her remarkable professional journey, Anara is deeply passionate about empowering children with project management and life skills at an early age, believing strongly that when given structure, guidance, and support, young people are capable of doing extraordinary things. Please welcome Anara.
Good morning, all our guests today. Distinguished guests, educators, mentors, partners, sponsors, students, and parents. Today we're celebrating success of our students. But it is not just a celebration and the award, it's a celebration of learning and growth and the journey as well. The Junior Project Management Program is built on something very meaningful for us and for me personally. It's based on the Little Project Management Skills framework that we, on the first place, designed to teach our own kids the project management skills, as we find it useful. Then we wrote the books for other parents to teach their kids the project management skills. And from that, we grow to this program that we are attending today. Thanks everyone for coming and sharing this journey with us. Why project management? Why? It's not just the professional skills. We think that it's a life skill. Because on a daily basis, you face a challenge, you have an idea, you have an inspiration, but you want a result, you want achievement, you want action. And the project management is an enabler. By doing plans, by thinking how to achieve your goals, by going from the idea to the action, all the project management skills that we have learned throughout this journey will help you to achieve all of that. Communications, expressing your idea, planning, organizing, working in a team, leadership, curiosity, creativity, problem solving, crisis management, in some cases as well. All of the skills turn an inspiration to tangible results and to the reality, as we have witnessed it today here. Junior project management isn't intentionally exclusive. As you have seen today, we have just 8 teams. Not because we wanted to give only some kids opportunities, but because we wanted the quality. For each of the team, we have matched the mentors. Mentors, thank you for you, all of you, being here and throughout this journey, being together with our teams. Your guidance, your support, and your belief and trust to the team made it happen today. And also, a special thank you for all the partners and the sponsors for making this event happen as well. So at the Junior Project Manager, we say 2 things very loudly, and you would see it throughout all our communications all the time. First, we believe that children are capable. Second, we can guide you from idea to action. And Junior Project Manager was created exactly for this purpose, to guide you from your idea that you would have in your head to the action and to the result that you will achieve. What we're witnessing today is not the result of single day or the single presentation. It's a journey. And as you all know, the journey wasn't that easy, right? So what we have faced along the way, we targeted sustainability challenges and the innovation. We created plan, of course, because we wanted to plan here. But plan didn't work out always. Then we managed the crisis because we needed to present the results today for all the guests coming. So we thought about resources that we need to make our prototypes. We thought about procurement and the logistics as well. We assigned roles in the teams, sometimes successfully, sometimes not, but we learned, as our distinguished speakers explained to us today. We responded to all the challenges and the moments of the crisis. We worked towards deadline. Deadline was today, and we have achieved an amazing result. We solved problems creatively, and also we presented today confidently. Thanks for all the students attended today the event, and we are so proud today to see how amazingly you presented all your projects that you have done to our His Highness Undersecretary. And none of this would have happened without an incredible ecosystem created around it. So we would like to sincerely thank the Ministry for giving us an opportunity to host this event, the Project Expo that we had in the morning, and the award ceremony that we are having now. Thank you to all our guests and the parents for the trust that you gave us to go through this journey with your children. To our educators and the teachers, thank you for walking this journey with us as well, and the supporting teams, and being our channel of communication to them as well. And your impact is really clearly visible on the result that our children achieved today. To our little PM team and our volunteers as well, thank you for countless hours behind the scene to make this event happening. And to our speakers for their inspirational stories and their wisdom. So finally, to our students, we have proven that you are capable, but not someday, but today. This is only the beginning, because when the children can learn how to turn ideas to action. There is no limit on what you can achieve. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Amara. Congratulations to all the winning teams and to every student who participated. Each of you is a winner for effort, learning, and the courage that you have demonstrated today. Over the past months, the dedicated team from the Ministry of Energy and Infrastructure has worked closely with us to support and organize today's event. Their commitment, coordination, and continuous support have been instrumental in bringing this ceremony to life, and we are deeply grateful for their efforts. At this time, we would like to present certificates of appreciation to the ministry team members who contributed to the successful organization of this event. Please welcome to the stage Engineer Asman Naqi, Engineer Fatima Abdullah Abdelrahman, Dr. Ahmed Al Mansoori, Engineer Fatima Jamal Abdullah. Throughout this program, our mentors connected with students from different parts of the world, finding time within their demanding professional schedule to guide, support, and inspire their teams. Their dedication, commitment, and willingness to share real-world experiences have had a meaningful impact on our students' learning journeys. We will now recognize our mentors by presenting certificates of appreciation when we will invite them one by one to the stage. Please welcome Hiba Shehi, Obi Amori, Marc Permet, Faqr Hussein, Ayzah Nugmanova. For our mentors joining us from the UK and Germany, your certificates will be sent to you with our heartfelt thanks for your dedication and support. We also extend our sincere appreciation to our sponsors and partners, whose support, collaboration, and belief in this program have been essential to its success. Their contribution has enabled us to create meaningful learning experiences and celebrate the achievements of our students today. We will now present the certificates of appreciation to our sponsors and partners. Please welcome to the stage CraftPal, Pulp and Paper Institute, edX with Maker and Coder, SpacePoint Space. We would also like to recognize the school representatives who work closely with the program team throughout these past months. Their coordination, commitment, and continuous support of the student teams played a vital role in ensuring the students were well prepared, engaged, and supported at every stage of the program. At this time, we will present certificates of appreciation to the school representatives who contributed to the successful delivery of this program. Please welcome to the stage Ms. Abida Natha, Director of Digital Learning at GEMS Wellington International School, Ms. Emma Monteith, Whole School Senior Assistant Principal at GEMS FirstPoint School, and Ms. Safa Drasi, Head of IT and Computer Science Department at GEMS Metropole School Motor Systems. Before we wrap up, I would like to take a moment and acknowledge the parents and families. Your encouragement, support, and belief in your children has been a constant source of motivation throughout this journey. May we please give a huge round of applause to the parents for their support. As we conclude today's celebration, I would like to thank everyone who attended, supported, and participated and believed in this program. We are pleased to share that registration will soon open for sponsors, partners, and participants for the next round of Junior Project Manager Program 2026. We invite interested schools, organizations, parents, and students to follow our official channels for updates and registration details. Thank you once again and have a wonderful day.